We will parachute all the guns of the forces. Get ready. Airborne from skies of blue. Get in the door. We're coming. Make the jumps and take your boats today. Let's go put on your boots. Your jumping boots, your parachute. Your parachute.
So here we are at the second annual James Black Bowie Heritage Festival. Over to our left is Doug Marcaida, Ricardo Vilar, and what we're going to be doing here today is a small forging competition. Now, right now we're trying to figure out what a good spot for the camera will be. Maybe it'll be this one, because everything is meant to be shown from, of course, the people standing on or sitting on the other side of the fence. But we're going to do our best to give you a little bit of an inside view of this little forge and fire competition. So hang on, and we'll be right back.
How's everybody doing? What a pleasure to be able to be down here again for the second annual James Black Heritage Bowie Festival, and thank you for showing up, because you know this is one of the things that I love coming down here, because we get to celebrate the blade making legacy of James Black. But one of the things that we don't get to do is find out how the blades are being made, right? I can hear you. So today what we're going to do is we're going to have a little version of our little Forge and Fire champion, a quick test to make this competition. With me is Ricardo Vilar.
Hey. Good morning, guys. Thank you for coming.
Ricardo is one of the, well, let's start off with how I met Ricardo. Ricardo is actually a contestant on Forge and Fire. And he actually, first time I met him, he was so quiet, so I was excited to find out he was Brazilian, because I love, you know, Brazilian steaks and Bossa Nova fan. And he wouldn't say a word. He was so quiet. But he did create his championship weapon that we got to test, and he became a Forge and Fire champion. Then I was asked, you know, to go to the Forge and Fire version in Latin America. And we were filming there, and they go, yeah, by the way, one of your fellow judges is a Forge and Fire champion, and he's Brazilian. I'm like, who? Oh, Ricardo. We go, Ricardo? He doesn't speak. So apparently it's because he was told that he can't talk to the judges on Forge and Fire, but they're very strict about the rules. But then we formed a friendship, and because of Ricardo, he brought me down here because I got to meet the guardians of the James Black legacy. Jerry Fisk, Lynn Ray, J.R. Cook, and Ricardo are teaching at the University of Arkansas course. But today, we get to do our version of Forge and Fire because the people who have taken the courses will get to compete and give you a taste of Forge and Fire.
Okay, we have two sets here, and we're going to draw the names of some students and former students. So could you please?
All right, and here we go. And right there are the students waiting to see if they're going to be competing. So they're kind of prepared, but not. And a lot of their works are actually at the knife show. All right, we have Corey. Corey, come on down.
Where is he?
Right here. There he is.
And
all
Corey
right.
will be running.
And Corey goes up against Tim. Tim, come on down. You're the next contestant on the Forge and Fire version of the Quick Fire. So we have Tim and Corey.
Okay, come here, guys. I'm gonna explain. Oh, they're having so fun already.
All right. Yeah, I can see the. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on down. Don't be afraid.
Come on.
He doesn't bite.
I'm gonna explain something to you. Okay. We are in a Federal Park here, and we need to outside and have fun. So that's why we have a picnic table here set up. So you're gonna forge a blade from this two little huts, and we need one for each, and we need a knife to able, at least a blade. We ain't gonna quench here. We don't have time for that. It's gonna be just a blade, and then we have a set of 36 grit, 60, and 120. degree, and we need a blade able
That's
to
it.
cut.
They have to be careful now. So folks, here's the thing. This is going to be a quick fire. They're going to have to make a blade out of these small hooks. That's a lot of work to be able to create a knife out of that. You have a short amount of time, you have grinders, and then you have to be tested, right?
Yeah.
Now we got to make this test kind of harder. Jay Nielsen isn't here to destroy stuff. So today, our special test for you guys is
To make a sandwich. Okay? Because we are in a picnic. I'm starving. Are you?
I am hungry.
So, y'all need to, because a knife, it's so common in our lives. We never realize. Who haven't used a knife today? Raise your hand. Nobody? Nobody in this morning? So everybody has used a knife, has been using a knife, and we never realized. So why? The knife is not only for cutting or making kill tests.
Yeah, it's not for kill tests or anything else. Knives are tools that we use every day. Every day. So as a bladesmith, you just don't make knives for weapons or anything. You can make knives for everyday use.
Exactly. So this is your challenge. You're gonna have 45 minutes at most to do that, and that's easy. Okay. And the winner will receive a pair of boots like this. Bring in one, so it's not, this is mine, it's not.
You win this
Okay. And also, we have a pair of tongs and a t-shirt from Iron Dungeon. So this is gonna be the prize for today. And guys, good luck. The boards are running, and we need that, and the competition will start right now.
All right, here we go. So, now that we know what they're making the metal out of, what is the first process?
Stay.
You did not shower today. So one of the things when we're forging, is the first step is we got to figure out what the ore is. What is the metal that you be working with? And this metal is
It's the hoop.
the hook. What kind of steel is it?
That is the point, okay? Everybody say, hey, I made a knife from 52-100, or I made a knife for 1084 or something. But we never know what the industry is using on those stuff. So the most honest thing whenever you're making a knife that you are reproposing some stuff, you just say, hey, this is an old rule. This is a old plumber blade, or this is an old ball bearing. So we never know exactly because the industry has been using so many kind of steels. And now you cannot really say, hey, this is 52-100, this is 5160. So we don't really know. And for the guys who know how to deal with steel, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So one of the things also that you can do is if you really need to know what it is, you heat up the steel, if you have the time, you quench it right away, you pull it off and it hardens.
I will.
And then you try to break it off. If it's mild steel, it will just bend. If it breaks, then you have a hardenable steel because it hasn't been tempered yet. So it's brittle. And one of the things that we have here is to explain also and show you how it's not that hard to really move metal. You see, when you have visions of bladesmithing and blacksmithing, you have these big burly guys smashing and stuff, right? But if you use a lot of heat, it will make the metal easy to move just by making sure it gets up in temperature. And there are different ways to get up there in temperature. Today we're using a propane forge, much faster, rather than coal forge. The coal forge, you have to really pay attention to the heat to control it.
And one thing we need to mention here is we never forge in the daylight like that. Okay, that is terrible for them, which is nice. But anyway, it is. The sunlight is so bright, we cannot really judge the temperature by the color because we never forge it. Normally, we need a much more darker room to forge. So because we judge the temperature by the color.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's why on Forge and Fire it's also hard because we have a lot of studio lights to show what's going on. A typical forge isn't done in a dark place because they're always watching the temperature and the colors of your steel to make sure that you don't burn up your steel. If you are in outdoors in bright lights, you might want to find a dark spot with shade And that's sometimes an easier way to do that. Some people actually wear sunglasses too to help them do that. And here we go. So these guys, Tim and Corey, first up at the same time. Now, if you notice, they are on the horn area of the anvil. The anvil has so many different areas to move steel, and each part moves steel differently. Ricardo tells the parts of the handle, the whole anvil.
It's okay. We do have the horn that you pretty much can understand what they are doing. They're trying to use that cone to open the hoop, and then they're gonna go to the face of the anvil and start to forge from there. But first of all, what they need to do. So it's also like during the forge competition at Forge and Fire, the camera just go there and start to interview them while they are working.
While they're working, that's right.
I want to do that.
This is a quick fire challenge. So the nice thing about the horn, it's rounded, it's got a point, so if you need to puncture, you can use that. But it's also rounded, so you can fuller it out and stretch your metal. Now, you can also put it on the flat face of the anvil to work in the bevels. But in this case, because it's a quick fire, there's a lot of work that needs to go into this. A lot of energy is being poured on.
Yeah, but they already started to have some progress.
Yep, it's starting to
that,
look.
and I think that was really easy.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't even sweat. I'm so.
I know, just for a
here.
sandwich.
Yeah.
It's already curved. They can make a karambit out of that. I don't know.
How would fit a somersault
So,
with a karate?
yeah, let's talk about this. You know, people say that sandwiches are not really that hard for knife tests, but you know what? Tomatoes are hard to cut cleanly. If you can cut a tomato where you can see right through it, you have a sharp blade. Now, what allows for that? The key there is the grind. That's why you have chef's knives that are different than actual other knives